Well, for more, I'm joined now by Rahima Mahmut, UK Director of the World Uyghur Congress. You've seen that report. Finally, Helen Ann Smith able to get into those areas where China has claimed the voluntary re-education campaign is now over. But how concerned are you by our findings that prisons are being expanded?
Thank you for having me, and I'm very grateful that Helen Ann managed to do this report, which we already know that since this mass detention up to 3 million Uyghurs in concentration camps. And although Chinese government have been often saying that these are completely closed down, but we know majority people not been released. We only know that very minority released because of very extreme poor psychological and physical conditions. And this report just reflects everything that we already know. We know people still are disappearing. And recently, when I spoke to someone who left the region and said, they must exercise extreme caution with each step, as if they are constantly on the verge of stepping on a landmine.
Yeah, I mean, gosh,
people,
that's quite a description.
Out,
it's the same as Helen Ann Smith saying, people couldn't even fill up their cars without a security guard. It is extraordinary surveillance. What about the prisons? Are you concerned that this campaign against the Uyghurs is simply being transferred to mass incarceration?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We know 3 million, maybe more. Up until now, we don't see large number being released, even though the Chinese government have been saying that they closed down these re-education facilities, people graduated. But I know many of my friends, they found out those relatives who were taken into these camps, like Mehmet Can, and the number of relatives, some like 14 members from extended family received a long-term, some up to 20 years, or a life imprisonment for nothing. There's no crime whatsoever. They never committed any crime at all. So it's
the trouble is
very,
that China has
it as well.
The trouble is China had previously denied that these camps even existed. What do you think can be done now to help the Uyghur people?
Well, this is not just the camp. We know the forced labor products flooding into UK and in many and as well as other countries. So government, what they can do is to get rid of all these forced labor products, ban Hikvision, Dahua, these high-tech surveillance companies. And also the UK Parliament already recognized this as genocide. The government should also recognize it as genocide and fulfill its responsibility under the Genocide Convention. And Chinese government must be held accountable for its crimes. This is a crime against humanity and a genocide.
Rahima Mahmut, we're going to leave it there. Thanks very much indeed for joining us on Sky News.
Pleasure.